Everyone. Well, as you just saw, the Dolphins defense is alive and well down in Miami as they come from behind to beat the Steelers today. We'll recap today's action for you. Plus, we'll take you live to Joe Robbie Stadium to tell you some post-game interviews. And we'll also update you on all today's NFL action. It's all coming at you on the fifth quarter.
The fifth quarter is brought to you by Genesee Beer. Boy, could I go for a Jenny now. The new Donnelly Directory, the Yellow Pages, and much more. By Equibank, the Straight Talk Bank, and your 13 Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers. And now your host, Derek Gunn.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before we talk football, first of all, just a reminder, immediately following today's edition of the fifth quarter, stay tuned for Channel 11 Sunday Movie, Vigilante 4 starring Jan Michael Vincent and Victoria Principal. All right, let's get you caught up on today's NFL action. As you just saw, Miami in a come-from-behind win over Pittsburgh today, 35-24. Of course, the Steelers went down there with hopes of upping their record to 5-2 and staying atop the AFC Central Division race. Just to recap some of the scoring for you, Mark Malone hit Charles Lockett early on for a 10-yard touchdown to put the Steelers in front 7-0. Donnie Shell with an interception, a Dan Marino interception, ran it in from 50 yards out to make it 14-0. Marino and company came back when Marino hit Bruce Hardy on a 2-yard score to make it 14-7. Frank Pollard would add a 1-yard run before the half ended. 21-7 Steelers favor at the break, but in the second half, Miami exploded. Marino hit Mark Clayton for 2 touchdown strikes and Mark Duper for 1 other, and Troy Stafford added another touchdown run. 35-24, the final numbers. Elsewhere around the NFL at Riverfront Stadium, this one in the fourth quarter, Cincinnati leading Houston 16-14. The Oilers need a win there to also stay atop the AFC Central Division standings. At Soldier Field today, it is Chicago leading the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28. All right, let's check in at Soldier Field for some of those highlights. And early on, the Bears have Jim McMahon back at full strength, and he's the catalyst to their success, obviously. But the Chiefs have the early success. Bill Kinney up top to Jonathan Hayes, 15 yards and the touchdown. Chiefs go in front 14-0. The Bears have been getting big plays the last few weeks, and they got another one today. Dennis Gentry will take this kickoff at his own 12. Bobs and weaves his way up the field and through Chiefs, and all of a sudden, he's gone. This play will go for 88 yards and the touchdown. That made it 14-7 Chiefs' favor. Later in the game, McMahon up top. He will hit Cap Basso for 28 yards and the touchdown. That would tie the score at 14. Since then, Chicago has gone in front 31-28, the final numbers there. All right, up in Foxborough, Massachusetts, it is New England leading the Raiders 23-20. That one also late in the fourth quarter. Both teams at this point are 3-3. All right, it is now tied up, I understand, at 23-all. Let's show you some of the highlights of that one at Foxborough. Kansas City's baseball player Bo Jackson made his debut in a Raiders uniform today. As for the Patriots, Steve Grogan, Tomasi Tutupu, who will hit Tony Collins for 15 yards and the score right there. Now, the first time Jackson carried the ball for the Raiders, he would pick up 12 yards and a nice run right here up the middle and outside. But Jackson hasn't been much of a factor this afternoon. Once again, it is now tied New England and Raiders at 23. Elsewhere, Buffalo trailing Washington 27-7. This one also late in the fourth quarter. We have some highlights of that game for you as well. Pick it up in the first quarter. Jay Schrader hits Kelvin Bryant on this 12-yard pass. That's a touchdown. Skins moved in front at this point 10-0. We go to the second quarter where Schrader will tuck and run on the old quarterback bootleg play. Around the right side he goes, 17 yards away. That's a touchdown to make it 17-0. Late in the fourth quarter now, Washington leading Buffalo 27-7. All right, down in the Meadowlands, this one also late in the fourth quarter. It is New England playing the Jets, or should I say Indianapolis playing the Jets, and it is now 19-14 Jets favor in the fourth quarter. Show you some of that one as well. In the Meadowlands, Eric Dickerson traded to the Colts just yesterday in uniform today, and the Colts didn't wait long to insert Dickerson into the game. Here from Jack Trudeau, Dickerson goes 28 yards on this play. Now, watch the play coming up. The old flea flicker. Just about everyone in the Colts offense touches the ball in this play. Finally, Trudeau will hit Matt Boozer for a touchdown, wide open in the back of the end zone right there. That's a score from 44 yards away. Now, the Jets would get on the board when Johnny Hector took it across from 12 yards out, right up the middle. He goes in almost untouched. It is once again 19-14 Colts favor late in the fourth quarter. Late game out on the West Coast just starting. The San Diego Chargers leading the AFC West take on Cleveland, still atop the AFC Central. That game just underway, Jack Murphy Stadium out in San Diego. One other late game just starting out at Mile High Stadium. It is Denver taking on Detroit. That one just underway. And we'll be right back with a lot more on the fifth quarter.